This is the first chapter of the one-bar installation manual. The topic for this first chapter is home theater use. When you open the carton, this is what you'll find. One bar is well protected with foam packing at both ends and inside of a plastic bag. There are two cardboard boxes at the bottom containing wires and the power supply. Lift one bar out of the carton. These two boxes remain inside. When you open them, this is what you'll find. 4 stereo audio cables and a power supply cord in one box and the power supply in the other. For a home theater system, you will also need an AV preamplifier or an AV receiver with preamplifier outputs and a powered subwoofer. There are many powered subwoofers that will work well with one bar. The AV preamplifier or receiver should have HDMI switching, and it should have either 7.1 or 5.1 surround sound decoding. This is what the back panel of an AV preamplifier looks like. On this particular preamplifier, the analog audio output jacks, 7.1 jacks, are where the arrows are showing. There's 8 of them. That's 7 plus a subwoofer. And on the right-hand side, you see the back of a typical subwoofer, which will have some line input jacks. You only need to connect to one of them. Now we're going to talk about connecting the preamplifier and AV receiver. This is a typical home theater network. It includes a game player, a disc player, and a set-top box, either satellite or cable. They all go into an AV preamplifier through HDMI connections, and the analog outputs of the preamplifier connect to one bar. The HDMI output of the preamplifier connects to the television, and one bar can receive its, the subwoofer can receive its signal either directly from the preamplifier or from one bar. In this basic home theater setup, the home Wi-Fi router and the smartphone and tablets are not being used. Look closely at the supplied audio cables. You'll see that there's 2 RCA plugs at one end of each cable and a standard 1/8" mini plug at the other end. The RCA jacks are color-coded. The white band is the left channel, the red band is the right channel. The back of one bar has inputs for the various mini plugs. The one shown here is for the front left and front right channels, and you can see that it connects to the jacks in the back of the preamplifier labeled FL and FR. Be careful in inserting the mini plug into the back of one bar. Insert it carefully and fully. Next, connect the surround left and surround right channels in the same way that you did the front left and front right. Note how the jacks are labeled on the back of the preamplifier. Next, if you have a 7.1 preamplifier, you'll have surround back left and surround back right channels. Connect them the same way and plug them into the BSL, BSR jacks on one bar. Lastly is center and subwoofer. If you're primarily using one bar as a home theater product, connect the white RCA jack to center and do not connect the red jack. You'll run a separate RCA cable from the subwoofer output jack, shown with the green arrow, directly to your subwoofer. Alternately, if you want to, you can plug the red jack into the subwoofer, in which case the subwoofer output on the back of one bar can connect to your subwoofer. You'll need a different cable, and it may be less convenient to run that wire to your subwoofer, but you can also connect it this way. If you plan to do music streaming from one bar, which is the subject of a later chapter, this is the preferred connection for the subwoofer, because this is how you'll get good bass from your streamed music. Next, connect the power supply. First, connect the 4-pin mini DIN connector from the power supply into one bar. There's a flat surface on the top of the mini pin plug that should be facing upward when you plug it into the jack. Connect that first before you connect the AC cord at the other end of the power supply, and lastly, connect the AC plug into a live AC outlet. The first time one bar starts up, it's going to go through a sequence that will only happen when it first starts up. It takes a few minutes, so be patient. A voice synthesizer will announce that it has detected the smart mode. A minute later, it will announce the status. Either it gets it the first time, in which case it'll tell you that. It may need a second or a third try, but it will eventually say that it has it. It will then announce its default internet address, which you don't need for now, but you may need it later. It is 192.168.42.1. And lastly, it will automatically move into the 7.1 home theater mode. So day-to-day operation is extremely easy. Turn on your TV, your cable box or disc player, game console, whatever your video source is. Then turn on your AV preamplifier or receiver. Using the preamplifier, select the source you choose to use, such as cable box. As soon as the preamplifier starts putting out an audio signal, one bar will sense it and within a few seconds will turn on. Set the volume to the listening level you prefer using the AV preamplifier or receiver. In this configuration, there is no need to make any adjustments or to control one bar. When you're done watching TV, simply turn off your sources and preamplifier. When the audio output of the preamplifier stops, one bar will sense that and will shut off in a few minutes. You may want to adjust the surround sound levels. Like all surround sound systems, they need to be balanced for the best sense of surround sound. These adjustments are made in the AV preamplifier, not in one bar. All AV preamplifiers and receivers have these types of adjustments, but depending on the manufacturer and the model, they may be a little different. So please consult the owner's manuals for the AV preamplifier or receiver when you're making these adjustments. One bar sounds best when all the channels seem to be at the same loudness. That may or may not be what the built-in test tones will indicate. If dialogue does not seem loud enough, increase the level of the center channel. If special effects do not seem loud enough, raise the level of the surround or surround back channels. This is all you need to know if you want to use one bar for home theater use. There'll be additional chapters for controlling it with your smartphones, connecting it to a Wi-Fi system and streaming music to it. And lastly, what we believe is the most preferred way to connect one bar is to connect it to your home Wi-Fi network.